delivering truth, fair and accurate.
We break barriers to deliver news beyond limits, giving you the biggest and most talked about news of the millennium. Good day, Philippines. Good day, art enthusiasts. I am Hari Ibiasa, and this is the Nucleus. Welcome to Masterpiece of the Art Ages, where we delve into the most iconic works from the Renaissance period. The Renaissance was a time of incredible artist development, with artists across Europe revolutionizing how we see the world. Joining me are Carl Philip, who will walk us through the early Renaissance, and Almia, who will take us through the High Renaissance. Let us dive right in, start with Carl Philip first to cover the opening program.
Thanks, Hari. The early Renaissance, emerging in the 14th and 15th centuries, marked a return to classical ideas of beauty, humanism, and naturalism. This period is characterized by artists experimenting with perspective and more like life depictions. Let's explore the three standout works from this time. First, we have the Annunciation by Fra Angelico, painted between 1437 and 1446. This fresco shows the moment the angel Gabriel tells Mary she will be the mother of Christ. Fra Angelico masterfully used soft lighting and calm, serene expression to convey the heavenly message. His use of perspective, particularly in the architecture, brings a sense of space and realism, characteristic of the early Renaissance. Next, The Birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli, completed in the mid-1480s, is one of the most iconic works of the Renaissance. Venus, the goddess of love, is depicted emerging from the sea on a shell. Botticelli, uses of flowing lines and eternal beauty, breaks from strict realism, creating a dreamy, otherworldly atmosphere. The painting focus on mythological themes also reflects the renowned interest in classical antiquity during this time. And lastly, we have the Lamentation by Giotto, a pioneer of Renaissance art, painted around 1305. It depicts the mourning of Christ after his crucifixion. Giotto's genius lies in his ability to convey deep emotions and his revolutionary use of depth and volume in the human figures. His work marked the transition from the flat, symbolic medieval style to a more realistic, human-centered approach. And that wraps our journey through the early Renaissance. That's all, Hari. I'm Carl Philip Bibahog.
Now, let's pass it on to Olmia, who will guide us through the magnificence of the High Renaissance.
Thank you, Hari. The High Renaissance, flourishing in the 50th and early 16th centuries, represent the peak of artistic achievement in Italy. This period saw the likes of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael, whose masterpiece continues to inspire awe. Let's take a look at their works. First, we have Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, painted between 1503 and 1506. Famous for her mysterious smiles, the Mona Lisa showcases Leonardo's mastery of staccato, a technique that creates a soft, almost smoky transition between colors. Her lifelike gaze and the intricate landscape behind her highlight Da Vinci's keen observation of both human and natural forms. Next, The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. This fresco, painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel around 1512, illustrate the biblical moment when God gives life to Adam. Michelangelo's depiction of the human form is unparalleled, with the musculature and dynamic movement of both God and Adam highlighting his deep understanding of anatomy. Then, we have Raphael's The School of Athens, completed between 1509 and 1511. This fresco represents philosophy, with figures such as Plato and Aristotle at the center. Raphael's use of perspective and the gathering of intellectuals from different areas symbolize the Renaissance spirit of inquiry and the knowledge. Of course, we can't forget Michelangelo Paita, sculpted between 1498 and 1499. This marble sculpture, housed in St. Peter Basilica, depicts Mary holding the dead body of Christ. Michelangelo's ability to evoke emotion through the softness of the drapery and the serene expression of Mary makes this one of the most moving works of the Renaissance. And finally, we have David, another masterpiece by Michelangelo, completed in 1504. This towering marble statue represents the biblical hero David. Michelangelo's depiction of David as a poised and confident figure reflects the Renaissance ideals of human beauty and potential. That concludes our look at the High Renaissance now. I'll hand it back to you, Harry. Almia Lumawig for the Nucleus.
Thanks, Emilia. The Northern Renaissance, while contemporaneous with the Italian Renaissance, had its own distinct characteristic. The artists in the North, particularly the Netherlands and Germany, focused on meticulous detail and heightened sense of realism. So now, let us explore two famous works from this period. First, we have the Arnolfini portrait by Jan van Eyck that is painted in 1934. This work is renowned for its incredible attention to detail, from the reflection in the mirror to the texture of the fabrics. Van was a master of oil painting, and his use of light and shadow brought a new level of realism to his work. The portrait is often interpreted as a wedding or betrothal scene, but its symbolism and precision continue to fascinate art historians. Lastly, we looked at self-portrait by Albrecht Dürer that is painted in 1500s. So he presents himself in a Christ-like pose, symbolizing the elevated status of the artist during the Renaissance. His use of fine detail and striking realism in the hair and skin showcases his technical mastery. Dürer's work also reflects the Northern Renaissance, focused on individualism and human expressions. Talk about news of the millennium. I am Harry Nucleus, breaking barriers for news beyond limits. This is the Nucleus. Good day, Philippines.